Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
And welcome back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. I am Jeremy Grunin. It is 6:09 here at the WOBM studios in Toms River. By the way, I learned I'm not supposed to say overlooking the River Toms anymore because nobody likes that, but nobody would tell me that until they got on the air and could tell me that I'm on the air. Anyway, 6:09, 40 degrees, getting to 40 degrees today. Yeah, that's right. Same thing. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and on WOBMAM.com. And we are fortunate to be joined now by Dean Lynn. He is the president of Ocean Medical Center in Bricktown. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning, Jeremy. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So,
great to be here.
I know that you have been now at Ocean Medical Center for about the last almost 5 years now. Is that correct?
That's right, Jeremy.
All right, so why don't you tell everyone a little about yourself? And I think one of the beautiful things about this show is that we get to talk to people and spend some time with folks who maybe not everybody knows at that kind of level. So go ahead. Let's pretend we're doing online dating. Tell us a little about yourself, Dean.
All right. Well, Jeremy, I hail from St. Paul, Minnesota. And so the storm that we had this past weekend was like a homecoming for me. I grew up with two wonderful parents. One who was my mom was a nurse, and my father was an engineer. My father was very sick. Growing up, he had Parkinson's disease, so I was kind of exposed to healthcare at an early age, just from the caregiver perspective as well as the patient perspective. And so as I went along through life, I decided I wanted to work in healthcare. And I was fortunate throughout the years to get the education and training to become a hospital administrator. I came to the Jersey Shore about 5 years ago, like you said. Great opportunity. I my experience, I've worked at some of the best, top-ranked systems in the country. And when I was called by a recruiter about 5 years ago, telling me about an opportunity to work at a hospital that's along the Jersey Shore, there was something about personally about being able to live along the shore, close to the beach. A lot of our vacations were at the beach. And then one thing led to another. I came to know Meridian Ocean Medical Center, and just the talent and just the services and the strategy. I was so impressed, and just it was love at first sight for me.
Well, that's great. Dean, I have been fortunate enough. Well, I was fortunate enough to tour with you around your great hospital, Ocean Medical Center, and I am always amazed, and amazed by you in particular. I'm amazed that someone could know so much about healthcare in general, but even more specifically, knowing about the number of procedures that a hospital like Ocean Medical utilizes, knowing the staff that you have. I mean, the amount that you need to just have in your brain, it kind of makes my head spin, because I certainly would not have the aptitude to do something like that. What kind of schooling? Because you're not a doctor, correct?
That's right. I have a dual master's degree, so I was trained. Of course, I have my undergraduate, and then typically for folks in my role, we go on to business school or graduate school. I actually got a dual master's degree. I have an MBA, and then I have an MHA, which stands for Master's in Hospital Administration. And that's the training that we normally go through from a classroom. And then typically for people in my role, we spend about a year doing a fellowship, the management administrative fellowship. And that's where we get the hands-on experience working with experienced administrators and really putting our classroom to the test in terms of the real world in healthcare administration.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so enough about you. I mean, I know you could talk about you all day, or actually, I'm confusing you with me. Let's talk. Let's talk for a minute about Ocean Medical Center. What makes your hospital such a unique and special hospital? What do you want to brag about if I gave you a couple minutes to do that?
This is one of the toughest questions because I know you know where to start, but I would say that, your show is about, get up and do something. And I can tell you that when I get up, the thing that gets me up is not coffee. It's my team members. It's the people who provide the caregiving to all of our patients. And I really mean that. The people are truly amazing. Beyond being just, well-trained and experienced, it's their passion for delivering great care. We just recently had some surveyors at our hospital, the Joint Commission, and they were so impressed with the culture and the engagement of our team members. One of the surveyors, Jeremy, last week said that, a lot of hospitals around the country are focused on being patient-centered. And he said, not only are we patient-centered, but our team members are family-centered. And that, to me, just kind of says it all. And so, I think that, we have great facilities. I could tell you a lot about our, some of the developments happening at Ocean, but really at the heart of what we do is the people that deliver the care. And so if you were to say, hey, look, you have one thing to say, I would say it's our team members because they're the ones who never fail to impress me. Even this past weekend with the storm, I just, I picked up a number of team members, and watching my team members trek through knee-deep of snow, they were blocked in, and they wanted to get to work because they did not want to disrupt patient care. That to me is always heartwarming and gives me so much hope in what we do.
That's great. Brings up two things resonated with me. Number one, so when you say no coffee, you also don't do Coke Zero in the morning, I guess, huh?
That's right.
All right, okay. But that wasn't one of the things that resonated with me. So, in my personal experience in running stores, running health clubs, and having, at any given time 1,000 folks working for me, when people would ask me the question, who's the most important person for you every day? And the stock answer is supposed to be your customers. For you, it's supposed to be your patients. My answer always was my team, because I believe that if your team is happy, if your team is engaged, if your team is at their maximum potential, then they have no choice but to deliver the best, in your case, healthcare, in my case, customer service, because it starts with your team. So I think that was a great point you bring up, and I think that is definitely something to be commended on your part. The other thing that kind of resonated with me, and I don't think people think of it this way, and it's on some level it's a horrible thought, but it's the reality of it. So when we have a huge snowstorm like we had this past weekend, that is actually that's a revenue generator for your local hospital. So we don't think of it like that. I know a community medical center, as an example, when Seaside was at its absolute hoppin' best, right, which also resulted in maybe a bar fight here or there. That was good for the emergency room and good for the hospital. So, I know you guys really had to hop to it this weekend, right? Did you see a spike in census?
This weekend, not necessarily, because I think the storm kept a lot of folks at home. But, we've been busy. We're very steady busy right now, and we've been that way for a number of years. But I think that, the thing for us is that we're not like a normal retail establishment in the sense that, we have to always, we're a 24/7 operation. And so just because it's a little bit cold outside or, there's a hurricane, we can't, we can't just decide to stay home. We have to, and that's why I am so impressed with, the heart of our caregivers, because they have also their families to take care of, and they can do that, but they also know that we have patients, and patient care should never be disrupted. And
right.
So I can always be rest assured that I have the best people delivering the best care who are dedicated to giving that, our patients, every single patient, the best care possible.
Awesome. We are talking with Dean Lin, president of Ocean Medical Center in Bricktown. We are going to be back in 1 minute. And, Dean, you're going to talk to us about some of the facility changes that we've seen and really how the hospital's grown over the last 30 years. I'll be right back after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
And we're back with Dean Lin, president of Ocean Medical Center. If you want to join in the conversation, have a question, 732-505-1160. It's not that often that you get to ask questions of the guy that runs a big hospital. So, Dean, talk to me. What kind of facility changes have we seen there? If I hadn't been at the hospital in the last 10 years, what am I going to see?
Well, Jeremy, I think this Ocean Medical Center has really gone through a historic construction and growth period, and really atypical to what we're seeing around the country. So most recently, in 2014, we had finished the completion of our new emergency care center. It's one of the state's newest emergency rooms. Beautiful. It was an $82 million project because it was the first phase of a master facility plan, and our goal for that was to design to triple the size of our previous ER, and to create an environment of healing. If you haven't been to it, you have to go to it, because folks that haven't seen the hospital in 10 years, or even 5 years for that matter, come over and are just overwhelmed. It's truly state-of-the-art and high-end, very hotel-like. People, most people don't want to go to the ER, but I can tell you that our patients don't want to leave because it's so comfortable. And what we wanted to do is create an environment where we can help people feel rest assured when they come in and feel that peace. Because when you're truly in an emergency and feeling sick and vulnerable, there's the feeling of being anxious. And so we wanted to create that environment. Of course, I go back to our team members. They're the ones that deliver that care and that compassion, but the facility becomes that tool. That new emergency care center has served over 100,000 people since its inception. And it's, like I said, it's really been, it's the front door to our facility. We have so many other things this year, Jeremy. We are starting the construction of a new cancer center. And I don't know if you know, Meridian is investing over $130 million in cancer care across the system, in new facilities, technology, in people like surgeons. And at Ocean, we are going to be starting that construction. Will be done by the end of the year. It's going to be truly state-of-the-art. One of the features of this new cancer center will be multidisciplinary care. We're going to have a true beam linear accelerator, a lot of great services that people deserve close to home. And so I'm really excited about that. And, of course, I can give more detail, but we're also waiting for approvals on construction of 36 more private rooms, state-of-the-art private rooms, just so that we can take care of our elective surgical patients. So we're very excited about all these things. Going through an exciting growth period.
All right, Dean, here we go. This is one of those things that, I've told everybody I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I need a little extra time to process, and I have questions. Maybe everybody else in the world knows. Maybe they don't. I'm going to assume some are like me. Dean, could you tell me what a true beam linear accelerator does? Because I'm sure Zach would explain it to me in the break, but what's a true beam linear accelerator? Come on.
Yeah, it's my apologies. So basically it's a treatment for cancer patients. It's radiation therapy, and so when you have tumors and there's things that you need to do to target cancer treatment, radiation is one of the ways that we do that. And so it's just one of the technologies out there. And your listeners, of course, can Google linear accelerators, true beam, and they'll find that that Meridian is investing in the top line. We're not going to the car lot and picking the second tier model. We're picking the best.
I have no doubt. So we know that there is more growth on the horizon. So where does for those who don't know, the Meridian system, when you talk about the Meridian system, what's the footprint of that particular health system?
Well, the Meridian system, it's an integrated delivery system that has been serving Ocean and Monmouth County. Our footprint has grown. We recently merged with Raritan Bay Health System in Middlesex County. And then, of course, you've probably heard the news about our pending merger with Hackensack University Medical Center.
Right.
So our footprint is changing quickly before our face. And so, but the Meridian
Dean, can you hang with us for one more segment after the break?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. We'll be back right after the news.
Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. I am Jeremy Grunin. It is 40 degrees at 6:34 a.m. here on WOBM AM 1160 and 1310, WOBMAM.com, and streaming live on Radio Pup. On the line with us, we have the president of Ocean Medical Center, Dean Lin. Dean, I apologize for that, the fact that we cut you off there. We are in, unfortunately, you are our first guest after my 4 days of inactivity in Las Vegas. So I am rusty, and I apologize profusely.
No worries, no worries.
Okay. So you were talking about the footprint of Meridian. You talked about Monmouth and Ocean. You talked about the merger with the Raritan system. So that's where you left off. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, we're just you'd asked about Meridian, and so Ocean just is a community hospital within Meridian system. Meridian offers a continuum of services. In addition to hospitals, they have a number of ambulatory outpatient services and subacute facilities, home care, and that's what makes us really special is that we're a true full service continuum health system, and our system is growing its footprint. We recently merged with Raritan Bay, some really great people and fantastic leaders from the Raritan Bay system, now part of Meridian. And then very soon we'll be part of the combined system with Hackensack University Medical Center. And so the point is that the Meridian system is evolving and changing, and in a very positive direction. It's a great system already. Like I said before, I've worked for some of the best health systems in the country, and so I have a great reference point. And we truly have a wonderful service here in New Jersey with Meridian Health.
So I think what folks need to understand is the advantage of being part of a larger system is the amount of resources that are at any given facility's fingertips. So even if something wasn't, or if a doctor wasn't available at Ocean Medical, or if there wasn't a piece of equipment that was available, it's going to be available somewhere in the system, and so you're going to be ensured that you're getting the best possible quality care because of the support you have from an entire system of hospitals. And that's why you're seeing so many of these smaller hospitals kind of get gobbled up, because the strength is really in numbers, and the strength is in the ability to offer the really, as I think you just said, the continuum of care for every one of our patients.
Yeah, that's right. And I think the other thing I would say is that, as a system, we're able to share best practices with each other. And so we come up with things that are, great ideas that we're able to share with our sister hospitals or sister facilities, and that helps us to continually improve what we do each and every day.
Awesome. So can you talk for a second? I know that that healthcare is changing drastically from being, I guess, kind of a reactionary deal where if somebody gets sick, you go make them feel better. And I think, healthcare we could see evolving into being more about keeping a community healthy proactively. Can you talk to us about how Ocean Medical, works towards that, what you guys are specifically doing out in the community to get out there and make sure people are staying healthy so they don't have to even come to you?
That's right. Well, look, it's you're right. I think, you mentioned healthcare, and I think the hospitals around the country for quite some time have been really focused on sick care. And, so when you're focusing on healthcare, it's really helping people, in sickness and in health, right? And so there's a number of things. I think that when you look at care, of course, we're always going to have the facilities and the technology for the acute needs. But then there's also, before you get sick, all the prevention and wellness, and being able to have programs and services out in the community. A good example is Paint the Town Pick. It's one of our signature community events. We've grown from an event that started in Red Bank to really, towns all over New Jersey, and it's really to promote awareness for women to get their mammographies, and so we do these things to help people stay healthy, and it's part of our. It's not only the right thing to do; it's also part of our strategy because we want people to aspire to be healthy, and in that shift that you referenced, Jeremy, that as systems, we are now more accountable, and then also the future reimbursement, not necessarily today, but it will be more and more so, that we're going to be reimbursed for keeping people healthy, not taking care of people just when they're sick. And so so Ocean has a number of different services and programs. Of course, like you mentioned, we're able to leverage services, resources from the system. We also, over the last couple of years, we've been developing new, improving access to healthcare. And so it's not just about getting people to the hospital, Jeremy. It's about being able to treat them where they live and work. And so one of the focus areas that we've had is a service called convenient care. And that's the idea that for things that are not life-threatening, can you get care more conveniently when you need it closer to home? And I think, Jeremy, with you having your background, tremendous background in retail, I think you get that. And, how do we as a system become more consumer-centric and, for healthcare consumers? And so we've been developing services so people can walk into healthcare anytime. We have after hours, we have urgent care. And so those are different things that we've been able to introduce to the community. We've also, in the past couple of years, we launched an ambulatory health village called the Jackson Health Village in Jackson, New Jersey. And that's a 150,000 square foot ambulatory facility. It's pretty much everything that's in a hospital but inpatient beds. They have a wide range of services. And the whole idea is to make, again, I think part of our strategy here is to make care convenient and connect people to that convenient health care.
All right, great. Dean Lin, president of Ocean Medical Center. Dean, this is the question that I've been struggling with whether I wanted to ask you. It's a personal one, and I don't know how you're going to react. So please, I may not even ask if you were in studio with me because I'm so fearful to ask, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So,
okay.
University of Michigan, undergraduate, University of Minnesota for your MBA. The question is, it's the middle of October. You flip on the TV, and there you have the Golden Gophers and the Wolverines, right, on opposite sides of the pigskin. Who are you rooting for?
Go Blue.
Well, there you have it. All right. Well, listen, Dean, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And look, we learned a lot about Ocean Medical Center. Great hospital right here at the Jersey Shore. One of a number of great hospitals at the Jersey Shore, helping to keep the Jersey Shore healthy. And will you come back and talk to us again real soon?
Absolutely, Jeremy.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Be right back with more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin.